What's good, everybody? Hopefully you guys are doing good. So we are back today. Today I'm going to make a little bit of a different video. Most of the videos I've been making recently are about my top stock picks or about the stimulus package. But today I'm going to do something a little bit different. So as you guys can see here in the background, I am very active on Twitter. So if you guys use Twitter, make sure to follow me there. I've been posting every day, been interacting, and right now it's good. A little bit of downtime, I can be on Twitter, I can interact and all that good stuff. So if you're on Twitter and you guys aren't aware, I am on Twitter. Go ahead and follow. I guarantee the fun never ends, so you'll get more information there. Anyways, what am I going to be talking about in this video? The title, I'm not sure what I'm going to title it. It's probably going to be how I got into stock investing or something like that. Anyways, on Twitter, someone sent me a message. I said I was going to keep her anonymous. She will be kept anonymous. So that individual, she or he, I should say, it might be a he. So that individual, I made a comment about something about investing, and the person responded, and we kind of went back and forth, and they were asking how to get into dividend investing and what is it and how I got into it and all that good stuff. Now, a video explaining all that is probably going to be a couple hours long. I know nobody has time to watch a video for a couple hours, so it's going to probably be broken up into segments. This is going to be part one, and I'll probably get into more details with other videos that come out. I'm just going to give you guys a brief overview of how I got into dividend investing, why I chose it for me, and why going forward I'm probably going to be consistently doing it. Now, before I continue, this is very, very important. This is all just for fun and entertainment purposes only. You are required to do your own research, talk to an expert, and do your own due diligence. Whatever financial decision you decide to make, you're fully responsible, and that's about it. So don't come to me and say I said this or said that and whatever. It's all on you. Do your research, do your homework, talk to an expert, and ultimately make your own decisions that you think are going to be best for you. Just a guy giving my thoughts and opinions and how I got started. Okay, that being said, let's begin. Alright, so first things first. How did I get into dividend investing? Well, I was doing research and seeing how people at the top are able to create wealth. And there's a lot of ways to create wealth. You can own assets, you can own retail space, commercial property, whatever. There's a lot of ways that you can be making income. You can't fully rely on your main income, your 9 to 5. You have to diversify, just a fact. Especially now with everything being crazy, the more you can diversify, the better. And that really hit me, because when I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, my job could get rid of me at any moment, and I'm not going to have a whole lot of different streams of income to rely on. With that being said, I got interested and did my research, and investing in property is not something I've got into yet. I don't have the knowledge to really get into it and dive into it. I'm starting to kind of learn it, but right now I'm just kind of focused on dividends and stock market stuff. That's something that has a lower barrier for entry, and that's just the route that I'm decided to go. Now, with that being said, the first thing I did was I was looking for a brokerage. A brokerage is where you can buy stocks, right? And fortunately, we're living in a time where a lot of stock trading platforms are doing it for free. Back in the day, you had to call somebody and there was a fee per transaction you did. It was crazy back in the day. Right now, we're living in good times where there's a lot of options and you can buy and trade without paying a fee every time you buy and trade or sell. Now, here's some popular ones. You got E-Trade, Robinhood, which I have used Robinhood. It's not my favorite, but I've used it. E-Trade I've never used. Charles Schwab, I haven't really gotten into Charles Schwab. Acorns, never used. Vanguard, I've never used their platform. TD Ameritrade, never used. M1 Finance is the one that I use. Right here, number 7 on their list, M1 Finance. And to go over it quickly, M1 Finance does things a bit differently. Think customization. In addition to being completely commission-free and fee-free, M1 allows investors to invest in fractional shares as small as 1 penny. before I continue, a fractional share is a fraction of a stock. So let's say a company costs $100 for one stock, you can pay a penny. So you're buying a fraction of that stock. And what makes M1 Finance different is it allows users to create pies. That is, pie graphs that are comprised of a variety of ETFs, stocks, and bonds. ETFs are exchange traded funds, which is basically a basket of stocks, if you will. The app allows users to choose different kinds of pies based on their investment needs and risk tolerance. Although there is a $100 minimum for investing, the app allows for total customization of your own portfolio, and it also offers different kinds of pies that you can build from moderate to ultra aggressive or market cap 100. For a completely free commission stock trading app, M1 Finance seems to offer a pretty good deal for the do-it-yourself investor. So that's kind of a brief overview of M1. Like I said, this video is not sponsored by M1 Finance. However, if you do sign up, you will get a $10 referral. I do have a referral link. Send me a message. I will send you the referral link, and that way you get 10 bucks and I get 10 bucks as long as you spend $100 to fund it, and that's it. So it doesn't cost anything extra for you, and it's a great way to support the channel, and I would be very appreciative. Also, there's only a limited amount of referral links that they give me. With that being said, once it's done, it's done. But at the moment, I still got room. So let me know if you need a referral link, and I'll get that to you ASAP. The email to reach me is going to be pphumbleproductions@gmail.com. Also, it will be in the description in case you don't know how to spell it. So check that out. Alright, now let's continue over here. With that being said, I was very curious, right? I naturally have a very curious mind. It works to my benefit, and it works to my detriment sometimes because I ask a lot of questions. First thing was first was I was wondering, okay, what are some stocks to get into? I need to study them, I need to learn them. What are companies to invest in? What is reliable? The companies can go out of business. So with that being said, I came across Dividend Kings. Now, what are Dividend Kings? Dividend Kings are companies that have raised their dividend for at least 50 consecutive years. Dividend Kings have survived periods of inflation, oil booms, technology bust, rising interest rates, economic recession, terrorist attacks, market crash, evolving consumer tastes, major technology advancements, and more. Any business that has made it through every environment imaginable while maintaining regular dividend increases is worth analyzing. Now, before I continue, you guys are probably wondering, what's a dividend? Okay, so here it is. You buy a stock. The stock is a portion of a company. So let's say Amazon offers one stock for $1,000. And then they say, okay, just for owning the stock, we're going to pay you a dividend, which is a portion of that stock. So let's say, keep the math simple. Let's say if a stock pays $100 and then you get 1%, well, 1% of 100 is $1. Most stocks pay every 3 months. That's 25 cents you'll be making per 3 months that they pay out, $1 for the year. I'll give you guys a better example in a little bit. So basically, a dividend is just pays you a sum for owning that company stock. All right, now let's continue on here. All right, so let's take a look. So this site is actually where I first came. It's pretty crazy. I've been investing for about 2-3 years now, and I remember when I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I gonna buy? How much is the stock gonna be? Am I overpaying, under? Like all of these questions that would naturally come up, and this was the first site I remember I really got into. Now here's the thing. You're always gonna hear the importance of diversifying. And it is very important. You want to make sure you're not all into one section, because if that industry gets destroyed, well, guess what? Your portfolio is going to be destroyed. So I make sure for my strategy, I diversify. So here's a few different industries. You got industrials, consumer staples, utilities, consumer discretionary, financials, healthcare, material, real estate, telecom, energy, and information technology. Now, keeping it simple here, I'm going to go over what we have. Stock analysis of Dividend Kings. So energy, there's none. Consumer discretionary, Genuine Parts Company, Lowe's. Consumer staples, you got Hormel, Lancaster Colony, Procter & Gamble, Colgate, Coca-Cola, Tootsie Roll. Before I continue, I don't own any of the discretionary consumer companies. I do own Procter & Gamble, Colgate, and Coca-Cola. Quick disclaimer. Industrial, we got 3M. I own 3M. Emerson Electric, I also own that. Dover, Nordson, I don't own those. Parker Hannifin, I do own. ABM Industries, Stanley Black & Decker, those I do not. Financials, Farmers and Merchants Bank Corp, Cincinnati Financial, Commerce Bank Shares, neither of those. Healthcare, J&J, yep, own that one. That is one of my ride or die stocks, and it will be in my example here in just a minute. Basic Materials, you have Stepan Company. Technology, none. So the thing with tech is that because tech requires a lot of funding for research and development, a lot of companies don't pay you dividend. For the tech companies don't pay you dividends, and a lot of them are small dividends for the most part. There's always exceptions, but for the most part, tech companies, since they're growing, they reinvest the money for research and development. That's just how it goes. Utilities, you got American States Water Company, I don't own them. Northwest Natural Holdings Company, Vectren Corporation, SJW Corp, California Water Service, neither one of those I own. Real estate, Federal Realty, I do own. Now, what I did, we don't have time in this video, but once I saw these companies, I clicked on each one and I looked to get more information about each stock, and when you click on them, it'll give you more information. Now, because we are strapped with time, I'm just giving you guys a quick overview. So that was my first thing I looked at. I was looking at Dividend Kings. Next thing you have is Dividend Aristocrats. Now, what's a Dividend Aristocrat? It's a list of companies in the S&P 500 that have increased dividends every year for the last 25 years. Now, I know I talk fast, so quick reminder. Dividend King has raised their dividend for at least 50 years. Dividend Aristocrat has increased dividends every year for the last 25 years. Okay, with that being said, it's kind of a similar layout on the website. Breaks it down by industry, percentages. If you keep going down, this site actually did use this exact one too. It's kind of funny. Back in the day. So for energy, we got Exxon and Chevron. I own both of these, and right now energy is getting hit pretty hard. Consumer discretionary, you got Genuine Parts Company, Lowe's, Target, Walgreens, McDonald's, Leggett & Platt, Walmart, VF Corp. The only ones I own here, McDonald's, Leggett & Platt. Also too, when you are doing your research, one thing that I looked at was, okay, what can I see on the ground level? So for example, every time I get off work and I drive to my house, I see multiple McDonald's, and they're always packed. The drive-through is packed, which is a good sign that McDonald's is something that I'm going to look into, because I think they are doing well, and people at work, I always see them with McDonald's. It's just that simple, and they've been around for a long time. Also, same thing with Leggett & Platt. I don't know, I'm not going to go over the details too much, but let's just say that's also known that I like. We'll go with that. Consumer staples, you got Archer Daniels Midland. Okay, so I'm not going to read all this. We're going to be here all day. But anyways, these are your consumer staples. Keep going here. Industrials, financials, real estate, healthcare, basic materials, technology. Yeah, AT&T is one that I own. They pay pretty high. I think it's about 6-7% they're paying right now, their dividend yield. And let's see really quickly, basic materials, none of those. Healthcare, yep, Cardinal Health, AbbVie, Johnson & Johnson. And industrial, I got 3M. And it looks like that's about it. Oh, consumer staples. I do have Procter & Gamble, Colgate, Clorox, Coca-Cola, and Pepsi. All those I own, the ones I just mentioned. Clorox, their wipes are sold out everywhere you go. I like Clorox. Kind of pricey, but good product. Now if we continue, give you guys some more information here. I just looked at a bunch of charts when I first started. So I'm looking here, I'm saying, okay, what's their percentages? What's their market caps? Okay, we got 15 billion, 13 billion. This one is 2 billion. So Lowe's is 112 billion. F&M Bank Corp is 560 million. Procter & Gamble 317 billion. So that is a mega cap. And basically, you just want to spend your time going on different websites and seeing everything you can learn possibly about whatever company. Warren Buffett, obviously one of the greatest stock investors of all time. What does he own? And it gives you a good overview of what he's invested in. Bank of America, UPS, Moody's, JP Morgan, Amex, just a bunch of stuff that Berkshire Hathaway owns stock in. Now the thing is that just because you see a stock on his list, don't just say, okay, I'm gonna go and buy that. You gotta keep in mind, okay, when he bought these, when did he buy them? At what price? Does he get a preferred dividend because he's buying so much of it? There's a lot that goes into it. You gotta do your research, but just don't take things at face value. That's the most important thing I can tell you. Don't take it at face value. Always do your own research. Now here's some FAQ. Did Warren Buffett sell all airline stocks? Yes, he did sell all of his shares of American, Delta, Southwest, and United. I will say this, when the airline industry got hit really hard in March, I was really tempted to buy some of those stocks, but there was too much uncertainty for me, so I kept my distance. I didn't go anywhere near it. Right, so that's my strategy that works for me. If I don't know anything about it, I keep my distance. I don't want to go with the unknown. Why would I do that? You got to do your research. There's a lot of great companies, and you have limited funds to invest, so you want to keep that in mind. Now, another great tool. This is simplysafedividends.com. This is not sponsored. It's just a website I use for a long time, and I like them a lot. They give you a great overview on how this all works, and once you spend some time searching companies, you'll get a better idea for how it works. Johnson & Johnson. Disclaimer, I own Johnson & Johnson. I think they're a great company. They're growing. They're not going anywhere. That's just my opinion and my thoughts. You form your own opinion and thoughts. So right now their dividend yield is about 2.76, which is not the greatest, but it's not bad. The part I like is that the dividend safety is very safe. Very safe dividend. Their growth has been average, but it makes sense because of everything going on with the bug. They're probably not going to be growing as fast. Market cap $387 billion. That is a mega cap. And right now, if you want to buy one share of Johnson & Johnson, it's $146. Keep in mind that this price is going to fluctuate when you check it. And also keep in mind the dividend yield can fluctuate as well. It's going to go up or down depending on how the stock is doing. If they decide to raise their yield or if they want to cut back on their yield, which I don't think they will, but if they do, those are all things to keep in mind. Now I like this website a lot because it tells you the research and their dividends and all this good stuff. So if you have time, go ahead and read it, do your research, get a better idea of it. I like this chart here. It shows since 2002. Looks like they've been paying it out and it's been consistently being paid out. So this is not even the full chart, guys. Look at this. Dividend growth streak, 58 years of consecutive increases, 58 years without a reduction. I'm a numbers guy and I like that. They pay, and here it tells you, this is the best part of this whole thing. Payment schedule, the frequency. Most companies pay you quarterly, some pay monthly, and some pay semi-annually, which means twice a year. Johnson & Johnson, they pay 4 times a year. March, June, September, December. Annual payout is $4 per share, which means every year you're going to get paid $4 for one share that you own. And here it shows you every few months what you're expected. So let's say you have one stock of Johnson & Johnson. At the time of this video, you paid, what was it, $146, okay? And also too, you gotta check for the ex-dividend date. I don't want to get too technical, but basically there is a time period where you have to buy the stock before that time to get paid out. We'll go over that another time, but just keeping it really simple. So you pay $146 and you're gonna get paid, where'd it go? Right here. We are in, what month are we in? July? We're in July. Next payment is September. So let's say in September, you get your payout and you're going to be getting 95 cents for one stock. Now you're probably saying, I'm going to pay $140, about $140 for a share, and I'm only going to be getting 95 cents. Are you kidding me? That sounds terrible. In a year, only $4? So here's the thing. Let's say you bought 10 shares. Okay, let's just keep the math very simple. Okay, look guys, I suck at math. So if I can do math, any of you guys can do math too. You have 10 shares, so that's 1,000 plus, right? Now, what's 10 times 4? 10 times 4 is 40. So your annual payout would be $40. Now keep in mind too, if the stock keeps on growing, which at this pace it looks like it's probably going to keep going up, and they pay you a dividend increase, and throughout the year you're constantly investing, guess what? It's just going to keep growing, guys. That's the beauty of compound interest, is you constantly put money back in, and over time it grows and you diversify. And this is what people do to make a lot of money and to be financially successful. However, there's another part to this as well. This can be very, very risky. You can also lose a lot of money, which is why you must do your own research, speak to an expert, and make your decision well educated. I cannot emphasize that enough, guys. I made a lot of mistakes early on when I started to invest, a lot of mistakes, but I learned from them and I became a better investor because of it. And just because I saw people on YouTube, I read articles, I read books, I never invested in a stock because they said, hey, I own this stock, I think it's a good stock. No, I purchased the stock because I did my research, and for me, I thought it was a good investment going forward. So you got to do your own research and assess your whole financial situation. All right, do you have a lot of debt? Do you have credit card debt? Do you have student loan debt? Do you have house payments? Do you have kids? Do you have car payments? Are you looking for a new job? Have you lost your job? There's a lot of variables and factors, and when you see someone posting videos and they tell you that, oh, I bought this or I bought that, you don't know the whole details. Like, imagine if someone has thousands of dollars to just invest. It's going to be a lot easier to just throw 10,000 or 20,000 and your dividends are going to grow a lot more. But imagine, let's say you have $100 a week or $50 a week. It's going to be more difficult, but you got to start somewhere. And putting the money in the bank usually isn't the best thing to do because inflation is just eating away your money. Now, hopefully that gave you guys a quick overview for what I'm looking at, what you should look at, and why you should do your own research and speak to an expert. Now let's look over here. The S&P 500. So all the way back to 1981, it was at $121. As you can see, in the long term, it's gone up. It has dropped a little bit, definitely, but in the long term, it has gone up. And the part that's crazy is the bug hit around here. We got hit really hard. Before that, it was about 33.73, and we're just getting close to back to where we were before the bug. So we've been making great progress. Same thing with the Dow Jones. It's been down, but well, I mean, it started down, but it's been going up, and right now it's same thing. It's pretty much made a recovery back to where it was. So in the long term, you look at the chart and you say, okay, what do I think is going to happen moving forward? And with the example with J&J, just to show you guys quickly, and then I will end it here. So I put J&J stock into Google. Very simple. You just type it in and it shows you the stock, and then you click here on max, and also down here it shows you basic information, market cap, dividend yield, payout ratio, 52-week high, 52-week low. I like to click on the max button here, and I'll show you guys what I do after this. So it goes all the way back to 1980. It was only $1.69. Look at this chart, guys. I look at this chart and I'm like, okay, overall it's been going up at a pretty nice pace. They pay a pretty nice dividend yield. That's a whole another thing as to why this would be one that I'd look into. It's just what I'm looking for, my criteria, my strategy matches with what Johnson & Johnson is providing. Like I said, that's just me. It's just food for thought. And that's about it. So that's a quick and simple explanation for how dividends work. Like I said, this video could be a couple hours long if I wanted to really give you a detailed explanation. Hopefully the person on Twitter who had the question, this helps you out. Let me know in Twitter if this helps, what else you would like to see. And that's about it for this video, guys. Alright guys, so that's going to be the video. As always, if you're not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, don't forget to give a like. Also too, I am now using Twitter much more, so if you want to interact on Twitter, I like Twitter. It's quick, it's easy, and it's a great way to connect with you guys. So let me know your comments down below. Until next time, peace.